My unit. I ask this sincerely and genuinely. How can we be this close to WrestleMania and get a show as bad as we got last night? Monday Night Raw 4/7/25. I'm going to go over every single segment from this show. I want you guys to see, to hear, to think about how bad this show truly was. Because I know a lot of you guys, you don't watch the show, you catch BC's review. If it is bad, thank you, BC, for saving us several hours of our Monday night. You're welcome. If it is good, you go back, check it out. Thank you for trusting BC to be your one-stop source for all of this wrestling stuff. But if you did not watch this show, I need you to listen carefully because this is how bad it's gotten. And if you did catch the show last night, grab your coffees, sit back, max, relax while BC drops the facts match by match. Because you need to listen to every single word. Because I am literally showing you, giving you the blueprint on how a show like Raw can be so damn bad. We are going to go over every single thing on this show, and not one damn thing was done correctly. Not what we liked and what we didn't like. Or our opinions. Thoughts on it. How we feel about it. No, we're going to dissect this show like a real review should do. Was it good or was it bad? And because it's not just Mania season, but we are literally a week and a half away from Mania, they have to be producing some of their best television of the year. Instead, this was one of the worst Raws in recent memory. And that's saying something, because every week it seems they try to top themselves on how bad they can get, how low they can go. BC, it couldn't have been that bad, right? I said we're going to drop nothing but facts in this review. So let's just in this cold open teaser, I want to go through this night of action, this Mania season Raw. Right before the last Raw before Mania, by the way. I want in this cold open teaser just to give you guys a glimpse of how bad this show truly was. We started off the first half an hour just chucking matches at all of us because Mania's in a week and a half. Helmsley realized, we still have to fill a whole night of a card. There's a whole night. A whole night needed to be filled. They moved Mania to 2 nights instead of 1. The only issue is they couldn't even fill 1 night. So now over the next couple of shows, we're just going to get matches chucked at us. The first 25-30 minutes was literally just to chuck a triple threat women's championship match. They finally announced it. They ripped the Band-Aid off. If you're wondering how creative they got in announcing this, they had Adam Pearce stand out there with all the ladies and just announce it. Boom. Just get it done with. He literally said that. Something to the effect of, let's just go ahead and make this official. They couldn't even give you, BC, all of us, they couldn't even give us the common decency to get an ounce of creativity into this. And then right after we went backstage, where Balor and Dominic Mysterio are talking about how it's been confirmed. There's a fatal 4-way IC championship match at Mania. I'm sorry, what? Breaker was starting the month of March with AJ Styles. He ended it with Penta, and somehow now Balor and Dominic Mysterio. Everybody gets a title shot. You get a title shot. You get a title shot. You get a title shot. Everybody, multi-man Mania. Then it's announced Ray will take on the Lucha Latte. El Grande Americano. Oh, get your $10,000 seats. Get your wallets out, man. You want to spend $10,000 to see Ray versus the Lucha Latte. This is what happened last night, man. We're just getting matches chucked at us last minute. None of them make sense, obviously, clearly. There's 2 title matches before Mania. None of these individuals even have these champions don't even have a WrestleMania story. So they're getting random title matches in the middle of Monday Night Raw, not even the main event. Val and Bebe for no reason. No reason. Afterwards, they shake hands. Bayley kind of shoves her hand. Yeah, whatever. And that's it. Nothing for Mania at all. A tag title match with a comedian on commentary. A comedian cracking jokes during a tag title match. It's fitting because the joke is Monday Night Raw, so it actually fit perfectly. There's another comedian in the crowd in the front row they keep showing. He's constantly showing his nipples. He's a chubby dude. He's all proud of his chubbiness. He's probably a funny dude. More power to him. Much love, much respect. Do your thing. Get that money. Entertain. Make people laugh. This is Mania season. Not a time to laugh right now. We need to focus on how we can get everybody caring about this. But instead, we're checking out everybody on Netflix that has a show, and they're all invited front row, and we have to spend 10 minutes going through the whole, acting as if they're all A-list celebrities. A-list celebrities. I haven't heard of any of these people. And then you get to the chubby guy, he's taking his shirt off. He's like, yeah, look at my nipples. And I'm thinking, what am I doing? What am I doing for 3 hours on Monday night? WrestleMania season. But it all ends with Rollins about to stomp Paul Heyman, but he doesn't. And then he looks at him and he says, now you owe me a favor. How does he owe you a favor? You just didn't stop him. Now, you didn't stomp him, so now he's like, oh, sorry, Punk, sorry, Roman, I gotta go with Seth. He didn't stomp me when he had the chance. Nobody's even thinking about what they're putting out there as a product. Nobody's thinking. Hunter Helmsley doesn't give a shit. The writers are burnt out. Everybody was burnt out last night. Did you see McAfee? It's like this is the last place he wanted to be. Everybody's screwing up. Production's screwing up. Commentary's screwing up. Adam Pearce is saying that Rhea Ripley's in Judgment Day. Michael Cole's trying to correct it. Drones are almost hitting the hard cam. Production's snoring, right? At production in the truck, they're all snoring. This show is putting them to sleep. The drone's almost hitting the hard cam. This is so fucking bad. But you want to know the sad part? Besides this show, besides this product, besides how this company does not give a shit anymore, they want to take more and more of your money and give us less and less of an entertaining show, of a product. But you want to know something that is just as equally, if not even more sad? Is they have enough individuals, enough kids with 140 characters that'll absolutely eat this shit up. This is so good, WWE. It feels like Mania season. Did you guys hear all the matches that were just announced? Hunter's cooking, man. Hunter is long-term storytelling now, man. He's long-term booking now, man. He's got the chef's hat on. And there's enough journalists and podcasters and content creators that will bend over backwards for this fucking company so that they can get the views, the clicks, the subscribers. It's all about numbers, right? Generate that fake enthusiasm, that fake excitement, act like this is good, try to get all the WWE fans they eat it all up. And they'll come and they'll tune there. So it's all about numbers for these people, right? More views, more subscribers, more. Look, everybody loves me. Look at my channel. Everybody loves me. It's not about that. It's about who respects you. And you get that by telling the fucking truth. I assure you guys, on this channel, you will never, ever have BC telling you that a show was good when it was absolute garbage. You will never have me do such. We will not shill, we will not simp, we will not sell out for views in subscribers. It's not about the quantity, it's quality. And that's what this community is filled with. People that just want to boast numbers and talk numbers and look how many people love me as long as I keep saying that the shows are good. It's Mania season. Don't you guys feel the excitement? No. Too many of us don't. But I'll be the only one, me and maybe Vince Russo. There's a name from the past. Maybe Vince Russo, the only other person in the community that'll be honest with you, most likely. Look at the camera and tell all of you that this show sucked. Because nobody else is anymore. Everybody else has completely sold out and shilled for their own monetary gain. I get it. For them, this is possibly their sole income, and they got to go where the numbers are. So you got to go with the narrative and the agenda that you have to go with. It's sad to do that. It's sad to say that. But there's not 1 ounce of me that truly believes that anybody over the age of 12 is honestly looking at the show last night and going, "This was a good show. I like how Adam Pearce just said, you know what, triple threat. Don't worry about Bianca winning the Elimination Chamber and getting a one-on-one match, or Io being a champion and deserving just a one-on-one match with a challenger. No, Rhea has this weird match with Io. She loses the title, and then she cries for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden, she gets to be in the match anyway. None of it makes sense. They don't even care to. Pearce just says, let's just get this over with. Triple threat. And then we go backstage, we make a fatal four-way for the IC title, because why not? We're on a roll. If we're just ripping the Band-Aids off anyway and not giving any creativity or wrapping things up to where it makes sense, fuck it. Just announce a bunch of title multi-man schmaz matches. Why not? And the fans will still after the show go, oh, sure. This WWE man, Hunter Helmsley. Helmsley's cooking. Helmsley's cooking, man. 2 title matches last night. Oh, they were exhilarating. Did you hear Michael Cole last night? Michael Cole after Valkyria and Bayley. Did you hear what Michael Cole said? Did you hear what he said? He said, I got chills after that match. He got chills after Valkyria and Bayley. Val and Bayley in the middle of a Raw gave Michael Cole chills. Check your temp, dude. It's probably a fever. Get off the road to WrestleMania, rest, hydrate. Somebody check on Michael Cole, because I'm telling you right now, if you got chills from that match, dude, that is sad. We'll go over all of it, man. We'll go over all of it, but the sad truth is, it's not just they don't care anymore. We're so beyond that. It's done. I truly believe that they don't even know how to put any of this back on the track. I truly believe that Hunter Helmsley and the writing staff, even if they try to think, okay, we do have to make this make more sense. Right? We do have to kind of tidy this up a little bit, because this is so... And I honestly think they start to overheat. It becomes too much. And they're just like, fuck it. Let's just send Pearce out there and let's just say, you know what, triple threat, boom. Screw it. Why put in the effort for creativity? You know what they did instead? Instead of Hunter Hearst Helmsley spending the day being creative, he's at ringside hours before the show, just shooting the shit with the D-list celebrities, all the comedians and all. He's just chilling out, just shooting the shit. Loves rubbing shoulders with the celebs. You know, if WWE was creatively a juggernaut right now, if the stories were so amazing, man, okay, chill out, man. You're doing an amazing job. This is some of the worst creative I've ever seen, and I've seen decades. I have seen so many eras, from the Golden to the Attitude to Ruthless Aggression to whatever the fuck 2010 to 2020 was. To this, whatever this is. I've seen so many. I've never seen a creative rut where I don't know what the characters even are. Are they good guys, bad guys? Doesn't even matter anymore. They're all tweeners, I guess. The talent doesn't know. The talent is asking journalists if they can find out for them. They're the ones who are the talent. They're asking journalists if they can find out, because they don't know what they are. And it's actually hurting their characters, because they don't know how they should be proceeding. One week they're taking on another face. The other week, okay, now it's back to a heel. If it's a heel and they're taking on another heel, do I try to out-heel them? Am I turning baby? It's so confusing. And then you put them in bullshit that nobody cares about. And it's constantly fluctuating. So you have Braun Breaker starting the month off with AJ Styles, and by the end of the month, he's with Penta. And when you start the new month, somehow Finn Balor and Dominic are in the mix. None of it makes sense. None of it. And there's enough people not to give a shit. Microwave society. Just parade a bunch of random mid-carders out there. We'll pluck a few of them. We'll call them superstars, larger than life. But they won't feel that way. I'm starting to think that maybe these are just kids dragging their parents out. They're spending a lot of money, so they just want to sing along with Seth, yeet with Jason Uso, with Cody. It's just participation. Because I can't believe there's adults that are spending $10,000 a ticket showing up, and they're actually enjoying this bullshit, this crap, this garbage. And there's enough people going, this was a good show. I'm going to tell you right now, this was good. What was good? Let's talk about how bad it was, because BC's going to tell you the reality of it. Not only was it not good, it was ultra bad. Ultra bad. And by the way, I forgot to even mention AJ Styles and Logan Paul. Do you guys know how they progressed that feud last night? They had AJ Styles set up a match with Karrion Kross next week. And that's supposed to do something with Logan. Karrion is so infatuated with AJ beating Logan because in Karrion's words, Karrion said, "You have to do it for all of us." All of a sudden, Karrion Kross is a team leader for the roster. And he cares so badly that AJ beats Logan. What? It's because Logan can't make or doesn't make all the dates. So Karrion has to try to tell you a story between AJ and Logan. I could go on and on of how much of a shit mess this is. But I'll get a swig of coffee, and I want you guys to listen word for word on just how bad this was. Because when I say that nobody showed up awake last night, you have no idea. Did you guys see McAfee? Raw 4/7/25. Everyone just seemed exhausted on this show. It's no longer just Jason Uso, right? Looking exhausted, wrestling exhausted. Pat McAfee last night looked and sounded like he needed a 3-month vacation, bare minimum. Eyes drooping, just his performance was D-level for him. No energy. It was sad. And he was already becoming redundant anyway, right? They bring him in when he admits he doesn't watch the show, but he comes in a few hours early. Michael Cole goes over some stuff with him. If there's new wrestlers, he tells them about them. But they just want Pat for his sound bites. One big son of a bitch. I'm yeeting, Michael. I'm yeeting all over the front row. They love Pat McAfee's sound bites. But after a while, that became redundant. We all know that. So then when you get a B, a C, and a D level performance from McAfee, and he truly looks like that's the last place he wants to be on a Monday night, is at Raw, then it becomes hard to watch, hard to listen to. And if you're going to throw a random D-list comedian, because that's what he is, a D-list, I don't even know his name, I don't care, but during a tag match, a title match, tag title match last night, and then you add this random D-list comedian. I mean, it wasn't just hard to watch the product last night, it was hard to listen to the product last night, especially when you got Cole screaming, "Whoa, I got chills," after Valkyrie and Bayley. Everybody looked exhausted, but Pat McAfee, I mean, immediately somebody's got to give this dude a 3-month vacation. And then you go to the ring, and Adam Pearce is in the ring announcing Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, all to the ring. And he announces Rhea Ripley as a Judgment Day member. So Michael Cole's got to jump in and go, well, Adam's a little ahead or behind himself. She hasn't been a part of the Judgment Day in months. Adam Pearce clearly is not just watching his own product. He doesn't even care. He's on the show and he can't even keep up or doesn't want to keep up with it. He's in these stories, supposedly, and he doesn't even know what's going on. That's more than just a gaffe. He literally said part of the Judgment Day. Bro. But again, dude looked exhausted too. But you see, they just came back from overseas, man. They've been back for days. Stop it. Stop it. They're in nice, cozy hotels. They're rocking out. The flight will knock you out for 24 to 48 hours, absolutely. Get enough coffee in you, hit the gym, you're back. By Monday for sure. Friday, they were rocking out. And then Pearce doesn't even try to sell us on Ripley being added to Io and Belair's title match. He just announces it. Straight up, just says, you know what, let's just get this over with. Triple threat match for the title, Mania. That's it. Completely just ripping off the Band-Aid. Like Helmsley knew they had botched this entire thing so badly from the jump. And Helmsley knew it. And he looked at the time and said, oops, it ran out. We only have a week and a half left. Just go out there and announce it. Pearce, you got to be the fall guy, man. Io then drops Rhea and Belair like springboard, missile drop kick, takes them both out. These two beasts taken out by a missile drop kick, and they stay there for like 45 seconds selling it. And I kid you not, that was fucking it. That was it. That's the segment. If you didn't watch the show, no, but you see, come on, man. There's got to be more. Maybe you didn't put it in your notes. Maybe you just didn't remember it correct. That was it. That's it. They pan over to Bianca and Rhea really selling the missile drop. Oh my goodness. Where did Io come from, right? This whole story is just Io is like the third wheel, even though she's got the title. Everybody is looking past Io. Where did our little tyke of a sister get some cojones like that? Damn, she took us out again. Riveting stuff. Writers, Helmsley, talent, it is obvious. At this point, it is more than obvious. The lack of care they're giving us. The lack that they don't even give a shit to try to give us anything that makes sense or is actually fun. That's obvious. Look at that segment last night. And if you can honestly, in your 140 characters, go, that was an amazing segment. This is so exhilarating. I am pumped for Mania. If you could truly say that, man, you're lying to yourself. Or you really just don't know the inner workings of pro wrestling. So then you have to alter that, right? Oh, I really liked this? That's fine. That's your prerogative. But, that was really good. You got to know the difference between like and good. Everybody comes across a channel like BC and thinks, oh man, that looks like fun, man. He's talking about pro wrestling and he's reviewing the shows, man. I'm going to do that. You learn pretty quickly what you're good at and what you're not. A lot of people want to be a chef. They're just not good cooks. Good luck becoming a chef if you're over there burning eggs, overflowing ramen noodles. There's people that want to be a lead singer in a rock band, but they just can't sing. People want to be architects and in construction, but they couldn't even build Legos. There's people that want to review wrestling. They just don't know enough about it. They don't know the inner workings. They don't know how to dissect it with a keen eye, vividly. What is good and what is bad, not what we like and don't like. So then you just get a community of everybody thinking that they're the next big review site. Another journalist popping up. He's the next Sean Ross or a Meltzy boy. Everybody's got a platform or this, and everybody wants to tell you what was so good about the show. But they don't have a fucking clue. They're telling you what they liked. What they liked. That's adorable. You come to this channel, we're going to talk about what was good, what was bad, what was ugly. Maybe once in a blue moon, what's great. But not likes, what we don't like, opinions. I like facts. You started the show off with these three ladies in the ring and Pearce just going, you know what? Triple threat. Because that makes sense. Bianca wins the freaking chamber. She gets the one-on-one match. Io's the champion. She gets a one-on-one match. Where does Rhea even fit into this? But Hunter Helmsley said, it'd be funny if we just have Io win the title and then just cry a bit for a few weeks and everybody will be more than accepting of you being in the match. But that's not what happened. There was major backlash. People are like, wait a second. This is stupid booking. Why is this happening? Because now how are you going to tidy it up to where it makes sense that Ripley's in this match? They didn't even try. They just had Pearce go triple threat. I'm not going to go in circles anymore. I've said the same thing 85 different times, but that's how just frustrating it is. How the company does not care at all. Your ticket prices keep going up. The level of commitment and care from this company, from HHH, goes less and less. Your ticket prices go up and up. Their care gets less and less. That's the truth. Don't believe me yet? Check this out. Very next segment. Very next segment, it's announced that Braun Breaker's IC title will be defended at WrestleMania in a fatal four-way schmoz. Did I not call this months ago? Of course I did. Not a time to give ourselves a pat on the back. Or you called it, BC. Of course I did. That's why we're truly the best on this platform, the best in this community. Because we are the most honest in this community. We don't worry about sub numbers or views or clicks. We don't worry about any of that. We worry about making professional wrestling great again by being truthful and dropping facts. And it's hard to hear. A lot of these shows suck, so we have to say it every single show. That's hard to hear. I called this months ago. Can you imagine your IC champion not having a match at WrestleMania 12 days before the big show? 12 days, and your IC champion has no match. And at the last minute, they just throw 3 challengers at him. The first 20 minutes of this show, WWE is just chucking multi-man Mania matches at us. Title matches at that, not just matches. Title matches. Just being chucked at us. Did I not call this? This is the definition of lazy. Cap L, cap A, cap Z, cap Y. Lazy. Imagine spending $10,000 a ticket on this. And this is what they think of you. For everybody showing up to Mania and you spent all that money and you're going to spend so much more on that weekend. Just remember the level of care that Hunter is showing you. Oh, he's not. He's chumming it up with the D-list celebrities. Celebrities. Got to put that in air quotes. And then we get Bayley and Valkyria for the IC women's title. Both women get a jobber entrance. For a lot of us, maybe you have another tier or maybe you got to see entrances. A lot of us, I don't think I have the lowest. I have the whatever tier comes with. Listen, I have it. I have Netflix. I don't know what tier I'm on. I just want to see the show. I'm getting more advertisements than ever before. Ever. USA Network, I would take those advertisements any day if had I known that Netflix was going to have this many ads on their shows. But when we came back from commercial, Bayley and Valkyria are already in the ring. This is a title match. 12 days before Mania. They don't even have the creative stability to stand on to give their IC champion a storyline or a match at Mania. So they throw her in there with Bayley in some random thrown together mess. Jobber entrances, middle of Raw. The drone camera is flying around and almost hits the hard cam. It was as if nobody had their coffee. Nobody had their coffee. Everyone just showed up and they're just like, let's do things. Everybody's just going through the motions to get the show over with. Nobody was awake. It's like the talent, Hunter Helmsley, everybody just wants to get Mania done with at this point. Collect all the piles of cash they can and just be done with it. And then repeat the process for Saudi Arabia, SummerSlam, wherever else they're going, France, Germany. Collect. They don't have a fucking minute to give you anything creative because they're counting cash. It's going to run out because your viewers are. The drone camera coming across the hard cam, almost hitting it 3 times. What are you doing? Production is sleeping. Chuck, what are you doing, man? You're going to hit the hard cam. Hits Valkyria in the face. Now that's entertaining television. Drones hitting the wrestlers. So instead, she's defending this championship on Raw 12 days beforehand against Bayley. With a jobber entrance. Kyria pins Bebe with a roll-up. Valkyria pins Bayley with a roll-up. What do you say? What do you say? Exhilarating. Let me be like everybody else for the views and the subs. Oh, this was so good. I love this. The wrestling was good. The finish. Oh, this WWE under Hunter Helmsley is cooking. This was a good show last night. The roll-up. Oh my goodness, that was exhilarating. Michael Cole afterwards said he had chills from this match. Yeah, maybe we all did. Chills from going into shock on how bad a show can actually be this close to Mania. We're all pretty stunned. Some post-match mutual respect. Bayley kind of shoves Lyra's hand away. Like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we're friends, but I'm pissed as I just lost. And she leaves. Nothing to do with Mania. Nothing. And I wouldn't even put it past if they still have a spot to fill next Monday. They'll be like, I guess we can give Val a match. We didn't put her in a program, though. Have Bayley, you know what? Let's make another triple threat for the IC title now. Let's make it a Fatal 4. Did it for the men's IC. We'll just put Bayley in there. Maybe we'll put... Who else you want to put, guys? Put Ivy Nile in there. Put... I don't even know who's on whose roster. Who was Ivy just feuding with? Ivy and... Who was the other guy? Dakota Kai. Right? You haven't seen them in weeks. But they were doing something with Valkyria last month. So maybe this is their way to be like, just throw them in. That was your ice. That's it. That's her big WrestleMania moment. 12 days before the show in the middle of a Raw with a jobber entrance. She beat Bayley with a roll-up. Some mutual respect with a little shoved hand afterwards. And then hour 1 ends with Creed Brothers and El Grande Americano defeating LWO. Grande pins Dragon Lee. This was wrestlers wrestling or gymnasts doing gymnastics, whichever way you want to look at it. But the fact remains, it has nothing at all to do with WrestleMania. And that's the saddest part. But hey, you got to see a latte beat a dragon. This is WrestleMania season, man. This is epic. Jason Uso and Gunther, middle of the ring. Gunther stands there for 8 minutes as Jason Uso delivers an impassioned monologue, how he's not scared of Gunther anymore. Imagine that. Imagine watching your brother all bloodied by Gunther. Gunther's tooling on him. He's zip-tied you, and you're watching this. Man, it's your brother, right? You come and throwing bows, man. You taking Hunter's little golden sledgehammer, and you hammering Gunther up front, first time you see him, right? Boom, that's it. But nope, Jey Uso's out there, and he's trying to get energy. He's looking at Gunther. He's right there, just starts swinging, but nope. He's like, man, I just want to tell you, I'm not scared of you anymore. That's what he said. It reminded you of Home Alone, Kevin McAllister confronting his furnace down in the basement, remember? You guys know what I'm talking about. Don't act like you didn't see the movie. Don't act like they don't play it 8,415 times every single Christmas. And he looks at the furnace and he screams, I'm not scared anymore. You hear that? And then all of a sudden a noise pops up and he fucking runs upstairs. Jey Uso's like, I'm not scared anymore. But then he walks away. No. Gunther's out there looking like they're doing his best cosplay of John Laurinaitis. He's out there with his little cheap gray suit and a red tie. People power. He's going to have the power over Jey Uso at WrestleMania. You're going to be scared, Jey Uso. You have no idea. You tell me when he wasn't walking up at the beginning of the show, you didn't think John Laurinaitis. Come on, man. That was people power. The red tie with the cheap gray suit. Come on, bro. And then he goes on 8 minutes. Jey Uso just yapping away, yada yada yada. He's gonna win the title at war. He's gonna win the world title at Mania. Everybody's gonna yeet, yada yada yada. The fact that we are still trying to build this as if it's a true huge WrestleMania title match. The fact that we're still acting like that's because that's what it is. We're acting like this is a Mania-worthy title match. It's laughably pathetic. It's Gunther versus Jey Uso, the same build and match we saw for the IC title last year. And it's the same build and match that we saw earlier this year for the world title, Saturday night's main event. We've seen this so many times. Different titles, different events. No matter which way you slice it, no matter which way you dice it, it's Jey Uso and Gunther. Been there, done that, next. Told you we're dropping nothing but truth bombs, fact after fact. I got so much respect for Jey Uso, but this, and this stems not from Jason Uso, this stems from Hunter Helmsley. Botching WrestleMania from top to bottom, beginning to end, start to finish. And now we're all acting like this is Mania worthy, man. And there's a title on the line. And Uso more than likely is going to beat Gunther. This whole world title reign. Matches with Orton and Cody Rhodes. Passing over John Cena and Gunther. And Cena's big 17 title win as a face with the big celebration. Passing over all of that. CM Punk versus all of that. For Jason Uso to beat Gunther. Just so we can yeet for 6 minutes at Mania. If you think I am going to fall in line and play along with that bullshit and fabricate this facade, I'm not joining in. No way. That's the truth. This is laughably a Saturday night's main event match at best. At best. Which is where it was at the beginning of the year. Backstage, Adam Pearce announces Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano at WrestleMania 41. Not a joke, not an April Fool's. Go and get your $10,000 tickets. You don't want to miss Rey versus El Grande the Lucha Latte. Tag title match, Raiders versus New Day. That's right. Another title match tucked in the middle of Raw, 12 days before Mania. No lies, they had a comedian on commentary. Don't know his name, don't care. Don't care. He wasn't funny. Sounded pretty stupid. This is a title match, a tag title match, and they put a comedian out there to promote the roast of WrestleMania and help promote some of his individual shows. It's actually fitting, though, because this division, the tag team division, the show, this WrestleMania season is a joke. So it was all kind of fitting to have this dude out there. Raiders get DQ'd for using a steel chair. Post-match, New Day destroys the Raiders with steel chairs. The New Day could be a great heel story, but you have to give them better than this. That really good heel turn that they had. And Hunter's grand plan was, let's put him with the LWO now. That was pouring cold water on that fire instantly. Put it right out. That cooled off. That cooled off faster than any yeet movement after this dude wins the title at Mania. You watch how fast that falls off. This cooled off, unfortunately, even quicker. The second that New Day LWO thing started, that was done. And then they stuck them oddly with the War Raiders out of nowhere. The Raiders are champions, and you have to remind yourself of that. And do you know why that is? Here comes another fact bomb. You can call this a hot take all you want. You know what I call it? I call it the truth. And the truth is, the Raiders are boring. Boring. They are. Maybe that's because of the way they're booked. I don't know. But they're boring. Them as champions do nothing. They're like, those titles are anchors. It just weighs them down even more. It's more of a detriment. Hunter put shiny toys on their shoulders. Didn't book them any better. Didn't make them any better. They're just as irrelevant as if they were called the Viking Experience. No difference. This isn't black and gold anymore. This isn't 10 years ago. They're boring. And you want a hot take? I'll give you one. I'll take Heavy Machinery over Raiders any day. Do you guys remember that tag team? Penta then defeats Dominic Mysterio via Penta Driver. Post-match, Braun Breaker comes out, spears Carlito, spears Mysterio, spears Penta. Finn Balor attacks from behind, and then Balor runs away. I have to ask realistically, and I mean this. This is what I mean about, can't they at least try to make things make sense? Realistically, how is Dominic Mysterio in a title match at Mania? Your IC championship match. How is that possible when Dominic Mysterio literally only has 3 singles victories within the whole last year? 365 days. He has 3 singles victories. And 2 of those are not even televised. One of them you'd have to go back to July 2024, July 13, 2024. And that was at a live show. Like a super show that they have, one of those live events where he beat his father, Rey Mysterio. July of 2024. After that, you'd have to go to October where he beat Damian Priest. That, I believe, was actually a Raw victory, by the way. October 28. In his third and only singles victory within the last 365, you'd have to go back to February. February of this year on Speed. Speed. I've never even seen a Speed. I don't know where you would watch it. I wouldn't care. And there, who'd he even beat on Speed? I believe it was what? Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin on Speed months ago was his last singles victory. And again, he only has 3 spread out in an entire year. But realistically, we're not supposed to just ask that, right? And the reason that we check out these stats is because it feels that way. To a lot of fans, when we hear that somebody's going for a title and there's no real story with it, then we would automatically go to, oh, maybe he's just like deserving, and so they have to put him in that. But then you're like, wait, I don't recall Dominic winning a lot of matchups. So how would it even make sense storyline-wise for him to get a match for a championship, let alone at Mania? But when we ask these questions, it's just, oh, relax. Hunter's cooking. Just let it play out. No, that's not a good enough answer. Stop lowering your bar and then asking us to lower ours. If you want your bar to be down here, that's on you. But we're not going to lower it. We're going to ask you to higher yours, man. Raise your bar. Raise your standards. Demand more. They're demanding more and more money from you. Don't you want to demand more and more care and effort from them? Dominic Mysterio makes zero sense. But we're using common sense and logic. You can't do that in today's pro wrestling, man, evidently. Can't do that. Because there's enough individuals that just want to say that everything is awesome. Everything they're watching it just makes sense. It's awesome. There's so many epic storylines. I mean, some of the things it's just mind-boggling, and you have to remind yourself these are kids, and they now have access to 140 characters, so they're gonna tell you how much this is so good, how much they like all of this. If they only knew good professional wrestling shows, man. Larger than life characters and stories, many of them that have you on the edge. Mania season. Do you guys remember when Mania season was 2 weeks before Mania? Man, the stories would be on fire. All this wild shit would be going on, man. You got something there. You're talking about all of it. It's fucking sad, man. It's pathetic. We then ended the show with Sethington Rollins for 10 minutes recounting the relationships Heyman has with Punk and Roman. Just going on and on about how he's conflicted and how maybe it's best if he just sits it out because he's so conflicted. And guys, like 10 minutes of this. And then he starts pushing Heyman. He's like trying to, egg Punk to come to the ring. Because he's like, Roman, he doesn't come to these shows anyway. Why would he? It's WrestleMania. Why would Roman be there? But he's like, Punk's here. But how much does Punk really like you? So he starts, shoving him, gives him a little slap. Heyman gets fired up. Don't touch me. And Seth is like, oh yeah, backs him into the corner. Here comes Punk. They brawl. They're brawling. And then Seth is able to hit a stomp on Punk, and he almost hits a stomp on Paul Heyman, but he stops. He doesn't. He just stomps his foot. And Paul's like, whoa, you almost got me with the stomp. And Seth looks at him with the mic and says, now you owe me a favor. Now you owe me a favor. Maybe this is good if this is like a matchup for, I don't even know if it's good enough for a mid-card title. I don't know if it's good enough for the mid-card or to start the card. Maybe it's good for a pre-show match. But this is your main event of WrestleMania. Are you guys wondering what they're even fighting for? What's the story? Paul Heyman services. Who cares? This would make sense if there was a title on the line. Especially if everybody wants Paul's services, because then there's something really at stake, and Paul can help you win that big prize. What? Everybody is so concerned with Paul in their corner. What are we doing? What are we fucking doing, man? Is nobody asking themselves why there is literally no storyline to this triple threat other than they have history? The fuck does that even mean? Okay, they've been there forever, or they left and came back. They've been there basically 10, 15, 85 years. We get it. There's history. Okay? It's 2025. You just manufactured Punk and Roman within the last month. For the stupid reason that Roman's upset Punk threw him out of the Rumble, which is what you're supposed to do in a Rumble. So now Roman is drinking the same pussy juice that Rhea was drinking, and they're crying that they didn't get their way. What? So Roman's crying because Punk eliminated him, and then he spears him. So all of a sudden there's enough animosity that this would warrant a triple threat at Mania. It makes it, that's the story. And Roman can't show up every week. They feel they've done everything with just Seth and Punk. So Heyman has to be the whole story in this. Who's going to get the services of Paul Heyman? If this is exhilarating for you in WrestleMania, man, I don't know what that says. I am watching this show last night, every segment that we just went over, and I am wondering what the fuck is possibly going through their dome pieces that they feel this is acceptable television 12 nights before Mania, now 11. How is this acceptable to anybody who had the unfortunate circumstance to have to watch this garbage? But there's enough people that'll bullshit you for their own reasonings and say this was a good show. I just went over it with you. It's as bad as it sounded. That's the real truth of Raw 4/7/25. That's the unfortunate circumstance of WrestleMania season. And the lack of care that we all feel for it, if we're being honest. This doesn't feel like Mania season. It doesn't even feel like there's a crown jewel coming up. Doesn't even feel like there's a Saturday night's main event. I feel like every single one of these matches would be at a house show. Maybe Madison Square Garden. I'm not even joking. A bunch of random title matches with many challengers, fatal four-ways, triple threats for no reason with 3 baby faces. No title on the line. Rey Mysterio versus Lucha Latte. That's what we're doing. I'd love to tell you I'm just having some laughs. That's the card that is presented to us. That's the card. That's the WrestleMania 2. And we still don't have the second night filled, by the way. And some of these matches will be flipped over. But point is, you still don't have a whole night's worth of card on the second night. There's still matches that still need to be chucked at us on Friday night. Be ready to bob and weave because there's going to be a lot of randomness coming this Friday as well. If they even take a moment out of their day to remember that there's matches that need to be filled. But they don't care. They're going to take your $10,000 a ticket. Meanwhile, you don't even know the card. You didn't even know you're going to get Ray and Lucha Latte. You didn't know you're just going to get a bunch of random title matches instead of anything intriguing with good storylines attached to it. You didn't know that. They took your money and then they're like, well, we'll give you wrestling. Just hold off. We'll make sure we have at least 10 matches, all right? Not going to tell you what those matches are, but we'll put something out there for you. $10,000 a ticket. They don't even have WrestleMania's card, the lineup filled out. We're a week and a half away. That's it. I could keep going, but you know what? If they don't want to put in the effort, why am I putting this much in? You know what I mean? But that's how much I do love pro wrestling, and that's how much that now more than ever, with more and more people just being okay with this. A lot of people just tapped out. They know it's this bad, but they tapped out. I hear it all the time. BC, man, much love, but I'm tapping, man. I'm just going to sit back and I'm just going to try to enjoy it. As if that's not what we're all trying. We don't want to just enjoy it because we feel we have to. Right? We want to be captivated by... You didn't start watching wrestling because, oh, this is enjoyable. You watched it because you were captivated by the larger-than-life characters and the storylines that had you on the edge of your seat, the feuds that you had to beg your mom and dad to pay for the pay-per-view because you have to watch these feuds culminate. That's what it is. That's why we watch pro wrestling. Doesn't matter the era. It doesn't matter the decade. That's why we watch. But more and more people are tapping out because it's just like they're not changing. It's getting worse and worse. You still want to love it. And you got no more fight. It's just like, dude, no, we can rant and rave and bitch and moan and complain like we're Rhea Ripley trying to get into a title match. They're not going to care. So PC, I'm tapping out, right? And I hear that. Now more than ever, a lot more people are just accepting it. They don't want to. They know it's bad, but they're accepting it. You got a lot more people that are making money from it. So they're going to stay positive and force and fabricate a feeling of, oh, this is good, when they know deep down, even at the surface, it's bad. It's really bad. But that's going to hurt their numbers. So they're going to spew bullshit. And of course, that's not going to help anything, man. When the community is not being truthful, nothing is actually going to change for the better, right? You're not part of the solution. You're just part of the problem at that point. And then there's just a big part of the fan base, the kids dragging out their parents, mixed in with the fact that it's a microwave society, but they're just willing to take anything. Just whatever Hunter dishes, they're gonna be like, this is epic. They have no idea what pro wrestling could be right now and should be, what WWE could and should be. But we're going to still continue to put up that good fight, guys. We're going to still attempt to do that every single review, every single upload. Because now more than ever, nobody else has the balls to do it and be honest. BC's got you. We'll keep rocking out, man. We'll keep rocking out. That's your review for 725 Monday Night Raw. Until next time, there will be that next time. 44 Dive, that is a wrap. BC saying check you. Salute.